Hey guys, welcome back to our brand new series of the Orville. We're on episode 3, the last one, the command performance with our security chief, whose name escapes me. Is it Talia? Who initially, with the shock of being left in charge, was just not coping very well and just reacting. But she got there in the end, even by having to disobey orders, because they were prepared to just write the captain and the first officer off right there and then because of this Kalon. I can't remember what they're called now. It begins with a K. Of course it begins with a K because it's like Klingon, right? I think. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still getting used to names and terminology and stuff. I'm thoroughly enjoying it though. But what we did get at the end, throughout that episode, the one name I do know, Bortus, was sat laying his egg, or keeping his egg warm, waiting for it to hatch, and they're an all-male single species, single gender species, and they've given birth to a girl. How does that happen? Is that going to create an issue with between the two of them, the partners, or even their species? I don't know. Is that evolution? Has something happened? Has it been messed with? Has it been genetically altered that they don't know about? But how can it be? It's fucking egg. I don't know. Let's go find out. This is episode 3.
She's so adorable. And she's healthy. 15 pounds, 2 ounces.
In fact, a Macfarlane female is born roughly once every 75 years.
Oh, it does happen.
The only girl in town.
If you all do not mind, I would like to be alone with my mate for a moment.
It's going to cause a rift.
It must be done.
Almost.
Yes. I will make the arrangements.
To do what?
You've been in sickbay 3 times this week. I know what you're doing.
Claire, look, just let me take you out on one date. If you have a crappy night, I promise I'll never ask you again.
How would that work?
Said no.
There's more where that came from.
Get out.
All right.
Doctor, I require your help.
Sure. What do you need?
Therefore, Klyden and I would like you to perform the procedure.
What
To what?
procedure?
To conform our child. To make her a male.
Oh, sex change?
Bortus?
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I'm doing that. Because I will not perform a sex change on a perfectly healthy newborn.
Your duty is to cure illness.
Bortus,
It's not an illness.
this is not an illness.
My world is different than yours. I would hope that you would respect that.
Do you know what? This is, as far as I can remember, I don't think this particular subject in this manner has been tackled before on anything like Star Trek or anything. Obviously, the sex and gene and gender side of things have, and it's more prevalent today than ever with sex changes and people wanting and being who they want to be. But I was actually more concerned it was going to be more like Klingon-like, and they're going to be like, you need to terminate the child. You know what I mean? It's an abomination and all that. So at least it's not that, but it's not an illness. There's nothing wrong with it, but I said it could cause a rift between the two of them. But on an evolutionary scale, apparently it does happen on their species occasionally. So that kind of tells me this is their standard operating procedure as to what they normally do when this happens. That it's just classed as how our world 100 years ago would have classed a baby being born with defects as being not viable, you know? Are we in a holodeck? I think we're in a holodeck.
That's far enough, senor!
It's over, Vasquez. Surrender now, and maybe we'll ask the judge to go easy on you.
You're
Senora!
outnumbered, and my rifle is aimed at your head. There is no cavalry.
You willing to take that chance? You mean a showdown, if that's the way you want it?
No, senor. We will have a dance contest.
What?
What is this, man?
This is where we're supposed to have a showdown.
What,
Jazz and tap.
That's not what happens.
Gordon, what the hell's going on, man? What is this?
I messed around with the program.
I
I
gathered.
want to mix it up a little bit. You don't like it?
No.
Captain, I must speak with
Computer,
you
exit.
immediately.
Portis, can't it wait, man? We're in the middle of the game here.
It is a matter of great urgency.
Yeah, that's just wrong. an 18th century Mexican dancing to 80s music. That's really weird. They have holodecks but no transports.
Coffee.
I have asked her to see to the conversion of my child to the male gender. She has refused. I request you order her to comply.
Can't do that.
Bortus, that is completely unethical.
On my world, it would be unethical not to do so.
Yeah, I get it.
Why not just let the kid decide for herself when she's old enough? It's usually corrected right after birth.
But that's an actual condition.
Why do you not wait and let the child decide for himself whether he wishes to correct this condition?
Right, okay. Going to be lots of pausing in this with my take on things. If we are an intergalactic species and we accept each species and their way that they do things and their cultural norms and the acceptances, how things work on their world and how laws and everything work. If you are on board a ship as an officer, you can't expect the captain to order one of his own people to perform it, but they, from a spacefaring species, would be under a moral obligation, I would think, to take you home for you to deal with it the traditional way that your planet and your people and your species would deal with it, not to come just point blank refuse it. Because you can't say, well, that's inhumane. It's not human. That's the whole point.
Having a vagina doesn't give you a lisp. I mean, depending on how you use it.
It is different for my people. For you to judge us by human standards is unfair.
Yeah,
right, look, even if I was not against this, we are on a Union ship. Order Claire to do something like this would be in violation of 100 laws. Request denied.
Request denied. If you want to do this, I'll take you home.
Lieutenant Lamar, activate cutting beam.
Okay.
Have you checked in with Bortus?
I gave him the rest of the day off. He was pretty wound up.
Oh, are you guys talking about Bortus's baby sex change?
My God, does the whole ship know about this?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Would the gender alteration procedure harm the infant or endanger her life?
There are different kinds of harm, Isaac. Psychological harm, for one.
And while it might have saved me an entire marriage if they had, it still would have been wrong.
Oh, thanks.
Sir, the asteroid is breaking up.
God.
Lieutenant, give him a shove.
Aye, sir. Shoving beam on.
Shoving beam, really?
Trajectory
That's
altered.
technical.
The fragments will no longer collide with Elnath 4.
Minister Kabrak, this is Captain
shit.
Ed Mercer. What can I do
Here
for you?
we go.
Captain, I am informing you that we are sending a ship to rendezvous with the Orville.
We don't have any rendezvous orders.
He's
What
called
for?
him in.
A vessel was requested by one of your officers.
Yep, I get that. What's right, what's wrong here?
We are coming
It's
to
degrees
take
of separation.
the female.
Oh, this is going to cause a big problem.
You want to set up a rendezvous with another vessel? You go through Kelly or me.
I am sorry, Captain. I had no choice.
Don't give me that crap, Bortus.
Klyden and I will transfer the child to the Macfarlane vessel where she will undergo the procedure.
The Orville is involved, Bortus. By the very fact that we are the ones transporting the baby. What?
Now, you see, now he's crossed the line because he's involved the Union ship, he's involved the Orville, he's involved the crew in a matter of personal nature and requested another ship to meet with them. What he should have done would be able to request a leave of absence and ask for them to be taken back to their homeworld and deal with it there. So, although I'm trying to like be impartial here, Ed's not doing anything wrong by refusing it, but by not volunteering more to help if that's what they want to do, is why they've landed with this situation. I don't know. It's awkward. It's very awkward.
That baby was born on a Union ship to my second officer, which means that as long as she is aboard, her safety is my responsibility. Notice, your people are members of the Union.
Which, by the way, could be jeopardized if the Admiralty decides that this is unethical.
This could get out of control fast.
Permission to return to my station, sir.
No, you're relieved of duty.
Right, I've given my 2 cents worth on this as to what I think is right and wrong, so I will shut up on it and see what happens now.
Kelly, we are doing the right thing here, yeah?
What do you mean? Are you
So he's
doubting
not
it?
sure.
Even though there are species in the galaxy with 3 legs, we would be conforming that child to our species' appearance, and we wouldn't have any moral qualms about it. I'm just policing myself because we all know how easy it is to judge another culture's way of life just because it's alien to us.
I suppose it
But
was
the
their custom
Universal
to kill
Code has
all newborn
decided that
females.
their
Should we
species
respect
is
their culture then?
single-gendered.
The Macklins view the female gender as a handicap. There's one person on board who might be able to help.
You ready?
Damn.
I know you've been upset since the
And she
captain
looks
suspended you from
even
duty.
more
I
ridiculous
was
being so small
unaware that
and so
blood
strong.
sports were popular on Earth. It is my understanding that striking a fellow officer is a court-martial offense.
Although, a slain female versus a Macklin, I'm sure the crew would love to take bets.
What is ding-ding?
Never
Ding
mind.
ding.
Come on, put your hands up. Protect your face.
I have a feeling she's gonna kick his ass. Holy shirt balls.
My turn.
Uh-oh. Okay, maybe he's not. It's like
Not
fighting
bad
an
for a
android.
female, huh? Have you ever stopped to think that maybe they're right?
I will decide what is best for my child.
He's had his ass kicked. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a fairly even match. It wasn't.
There was an explosion in engineering. I am fine.
You are snippy?
I am not snippy.
Very well. I'm going to get new clothing for our trip to Moklis.
There's an engineering accident.
sorry,
Trying to
Klyden?
protect his vanity.
What happened to your head?
I said go away.
How about a beer and a movie?
I am not in the mood.
Rudolph, please.
Oh, no.
Could you tone it down a bit?
He's not going to be in the mood for
I mean,
this.
that nose of yours.
Don't know what that is.
Nose. Huh? Rudolph.
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
is not all. Won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
It will be an honor, sir.
It's fascinating, too. I know what they're trying to do.
Of course. Without Rudolph's nose, Santa would not have been able to complete his voyage. Rudolph had been euthanized at birth as his father wished.
Yeah, I don't know if that was ever on the table.
Yeah.
What was clearly
Are you
a
getting the hint?
deformity.
Who's to say
One
she
can
won't?
never know.
And you're about
Please.
to take that away from her.
Watch the child for me.
Yeah,
oh,
no
you've
problem.
made him fucking question
he just
it.
left his baby with 2 drunk dudes.
Reminds me of my dad.
Who's to say she doesn't grow up to be something that your species needs? Maybe it's an evolutionary step that you lot keep calling.
We
I like
must
this.
speak.
I like the storyline.
I have had cause to reconsider.
Yeah.
Privacy. Leave.
Love that.
Nice day to you
That's
too, Dick.
fuck off.
Klyden, I believe we should leave our baby unaltered.
That's what I think you should do.
Why would you suggest such a thing? Because I have witnessed events that have opened my eyes. You cannot be certain of that.
Indeed, I can.
How?
Because he's closed-minded.
I was born a female.
Excuse me? What now? Oh, no, that really fucking complicates things. Oh, you're not changing his mind.
I am your mate.
When we first met, I did not know. Soon after I was born.
And when did you find out?
When you were assigned to the USS Clemens and I moved on board with you, I was unprepared.
And why did you not tell me then?
So, at that point, he's already an adult. His parents chose to have the procedure done when he was a baby and never ever tell him. I'm assuming this species doesn't tell its young, even at an adult age, for their own reasons. But what Bortas has now witnessed with Rudolph, I like how they worked that in, that who's to say that this isn't perfectly normal and that, you know, nature works in weird ways. I've already mentioned it. It could be the natural order of things that your species eventually evolves into a 2-gender species. And you keep stopping it from happening. Are you protecting tradition or are you subverting evolution?
Because I did not want to lose you.
I didn't expect such a serious subject. 3 episodes in.
I am angry because you withheld this from me. You lied. Your parents made this decision for you. You do not know what your life would have been like.
The captain says get your ass up here. The Mocklin vessel is approaching.
The only downside to this is what he's just mentioned here, that your society and your world, you would be seen as an outcast.
The child will be taken to Markless, where she will undergo the corrective procedure. The Markland state is ethically bound to side with the parent in favor of correcting the condition.
Condition.
We will depart from Markless within the hour.
No,
and we will take the child with us.
No.
You will stand aside.
I will not.
Captain, do you require...
No, sit down, Bortus.
You are very fragile, Captain Mercer.
There's an anti-bullying law named after me. Yes, I'm aware of it.
Captain Vorak, I formally request tribunal.
Bortus, you cannot.
It is the only way.
Our shame will be on display for all.
Then do not compel our child to undergo the procedure. I request that you be my advocate.
Shit.
You want me to be your lawyer?
Yes.
No, I won't do it.
Captain, I beg
But
you...
Kelly will.
What?
You took a
You
year
need
of
to be his
interplanetary law at
challenge.
Union Point, right?
Yeah, 1 year. I don't want this responsibility. I cannot be the one to determine that child.
Commander, please.
Oh, God, this is getting
I'll do my
complex. This serious 3 episodes.
Safe travels,
I like it.
Bortus. We'll see you soon.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop.
Those are words of great power.
Yeah.
Who wrote them?
I think it was actually about 15 different people.
Yeah.
They must
There
be
were
very
already
wise, these
many.
15 people.
I like the way the humour is sprinkled into serious subjects. It's been done quite well. If I had to go out on a limb and say what the outcome of this is going to be, I think she's going to remain a female. I'm so excited. I've got a whole new series to watch, and it's really interesting. It's good. You think our planet is bad for pollution? Jesus, look at that!
Oh my God, they're under attack. What are you talking about?
Markless's primary industry is weapons manufacture, so they're a little fast and loose with their research and development.
Our deepest apologies, Commander. That testing zone was added this morning. We will have pants waiting for you.
He's kidding.
No, I'm not.
It's got the smog, the colour of Vulcan, but it's not. It's smog. It's probably CO2 and fuck knows what else.
Advocate Kagas, please begin your inquiry.
She will forever be alone, an object of disgust. Never will she experience a first date.
I feel the decision should be hers.
By the time she is old enough to have developed the sense of self necessary to make that decision, the childhood damage will be done for not sparing her the pain when you had the chance.
I am not.
Great.
Observers will remain silent.
The problem here is with a difference opinion between the two parents.
It is a serious birth defect.
Let's look at the biological end of it.
Yeah.
What are the drawbacks?
Females are weak.
Arbitrator, would you be so kind
You
as
just
to loan
walked
me your
straight
gavel
into
thing?
that, pal.
Advocate, would you do me a favor and
Crush
reshape
this.
this cube?
Yeah.
Impossible.
Why?
It is solid titanium.
Would you mind taking a whack at it?
Females are weak, aren't they? It's turned into a ball.
The tribunal will note that this female was more than strong enough to reshape the cube.
All members of their species possess elevated physical strength due to a high level of gravity on their home world.
What was the capital of the United States of America?
Pass.
Give me your closest guess.
What was the capital of the United States of America? Nabisco?
No. Let's move on. What are the 4 chambers of the human heart?
I don't know.
The Chamber of Secrets. The Chamber of Horrors.
It's not game.
Let me get you halfway. There's the left and the right ventricle, and the left and the right.
I would like to switch to movie trivia.
The tribunal must acknowledge that there is no valid claim for gender-based superiority. Inquiry complete.
It is my understanding that you refuse to perform the gender alteration procedure on the child in question, correct?
That's right.
Are there cultures within the Union who circumcise their offspring?
Yes.
Yes, there are some.
Doctor, if a member of one of those races asks you to circumcise their infant, would you refuse? It is a significant bodily alteration, and the infant has no say in the matter.
But it would not have that child grow up and have a psychological impact to the extent that it knowing it's had a sex change without its without agreeing to it, basically.
Isaac, initiate a planet-wide scan of the Macfarlane's surface using the following search filter.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Stand by. Scanning now. Transmitting data.
Lamar here, sir.
As inconspicuously as you can, grab a Lara and meet me at the shuttle.
Yeah, I think if there are any living females, they are probably living in secret.
It's hard to get a clear geographical reading. Wait, yeah, there it is.
One life sign, Captain, coming from inside the cave.
As a Macfarlane society, they need to look at their beliefs and their way of life if they're ever going to accept this. No way of knowing, is there?
Hello?
We need a doctor to be able to...
Is anyone here?
A geneticist to be able to work that out, I guess.
Who are you?
Oh, look, it's a female living in secret.
This continued delay is unacceptable.
Advocate Grayson, you leave me little choice. This tribunal is adjourned.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
The biggest problem here is going to be Bortus's partner. I don't know his name. Who just doesn't want this.
Oh my God.
A female Macfarlane.
What
Yeah.
is this?
What do you think?
My name is Havina. I wish to enter testimony.
You were born
Absolutely not. This freak is an offense to the tribunal.
Arbitrator, to my knowledge, there's no prohibition against the testimony of a Macfarlane female.
That is correct.
And that's your fault for not putting it in there.
When I was born, long ago,
That's the arrogance of them.
my parents made the choice to allow me to remain female. They taught me to think, to read, to wonder. When they passed, I remained. I had planned to die up there, undiscovered. But that is no longer possible. The tribunal must not be allowed to take from this child the gift that I was given. I am happy.
This is your shining example?
But she's only had to do that because of the way your society
It's
is.
a pock in the flesh. When one has gazed in solitude.
You dare to bastardize the words of Gandus Eldon to serve your own purposes? He would spit on you for that.
Would he?
Please tell me you got something up your sleeve here to piss him off.
Why don't you ask him?
You've got to be kidding me. Gotcha.
No.
You're looking at him.
I do not believe it.
Well, shit. That's just
Well, look at
fucked you
that.
up.
Your planet's greatest writer
Is a
female.
woman.
There are many ways to contribute to society, Advocate. This was mine.
Point proven.
The Arbitration Council is asked to give their decision within 12 hours.
Doesn't mean they're going to sway on that side, though, does it? This has been really good.
She has no idea she's in the eye of a storm.
I gave everything I could out there. Have you talked to Klyden?
He still believes she must undergo the procedure.
You'd stay with Klyden after all of this?
I must try. He is still my mate.
Depends whether he's as committed with that in his face.
We will now hear the Council's verdict.
Do not find sufficient cause for suspension of the procedure.
Oh, no, that's
Very
wrong.
well.
No.
That the child will receive the corrective alteration before the departure of the starship Orville. This tribunal is adjourned.
This tribunal was a farce, then. Do you really need a big hammer of that size?
Sorry, Bortus.
Oh, crap. You tried. Yeah, right, now that's going to cause a rift. It's nice, at least, for a storyline that for once it doesn't go the way you expect it to. But you at
Bortus
least
and Klyden.
brought their
I am
society
pleased to introduce to you your son.
aware of it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Captain, permission to return to the Orville.
Of course, Bortus.
I'm not sure a human relationship would stand up to that. Desme?
Sorry for all that has happened.
No, you're not.
It was not my intention to hurt you.
What is important now is Topa.
It is a good name.
And we must give him a good life.
Rudolph. Nice. And that's all she wrote, folks. That was a very serious for this show from what I've seen so far, which isn't much. I've only watched 2 episodes before this one. But to only be the 3rd episode in to tackle something of such a subject like this is unusual. I like that they did it. But more than anything, if this were an episode that would have been made in the 80s or the 90s or maybe even the early noughties, I'm going back, you know where I'm going, previous like sci-fi series, mainly Star Trek, of course, because that's what we're comparing this show to, the outcome there would have been favourable. And this wasn't. So I was wondering whether they were going to make it favourable for it to create more of a storyline further into the series, but I suppose they still could. Whether that's involving Topa, the child, whose name I will probably forget because it probably won't come up again much. Whether it's for their society or whether it's just between Bortus and Klyden. Klyden. The only way I'm going to remember his name is because of Clayton Ravine. Back to the Future. It's the only way I'm going to remember his name. I have to make connections. I'm good with faces. I'm terrible with fucking names. You know I am. I often call them by names that they were in previous shows, something else. Like Sherry, for example, not Claire. Is her name Claire? The doctor. I enjoyed that. I was trying to stay as impartial as possible and trying to give both sides. But I think there, what we're dealing with is the start of something changing in the Macfarlane society. It's going to take time for change, but the fact that the female came out as one of their most revered writers, who used a shadow name for obvious reasons. What do they call it when they write as someone else? Can't think of the word. It's like a ghost writer. Turned out to be female. That kind of threw a spanner in their whole belief system with what they class as somebody who's well revered. I think it's an evolutionary step, not just a genetic anomaly. But I could be wrong. They could touch the subject again. They may never touch it again. Who knows? But we now have a baby on board. And I'm assuming if the relationship doesn't break up, excuse me, we will get to see more of the child, and maybe something more comes of it further down the line. I've no idea. Thoroughly enjoyable. What was ridiculous was the cutting beam and pushing beam instead of just a fucking tractor beam. But I like that it's spoofy with things like that, and the fact that they have pretty much all the technology that the 24th century seems to have in Star Trek, except transporters. But they've got, what did he call it? They call them simulations, don't really call them holodecks. Obviously they've got to call them something else because it's probably fucking trademarked. In fact, it will be. Anything with Star Trek's trademarked. Right, we'll be back with episode 4 next week. Till then, guys, post your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you for episode 4. Take care.